Step one, don't do that job anymore. Just leave that job. If it's a horrible job, don't do it. It's a good start. You don't have to find your calling in your next job. I also think that it's important to separate vocation and occupation from each other. The root of vocation is voice, a call, and I think this is a very appealing concept. It speaks right into that essence of ourselves. I want to find out who I really am and what I'm really good at, and I just want to be unleashed to do that. Doesn't that sound so great when you hear it like that? It's like, yes, it's almost like a Disney movie and it's just gonna be beautiful and perfect. That's not reality. That's not what it looks like. And most people I know who feel called or have experienced vocation got there the hard way. The hard way is lots of different jobs, lots of different twists and turns, times where they had to say no to things, times that they had to work really hard for things that they even maybe experienced failure in. Like almost everything in life, 99% of what you do is hard work. It's just one step in front of the other, doing the hard thing. If you want to know if you're called to do something, well, start doing it. And most of us, we see the calling gets mixed up with this picture we have of what that would look like. So we're like, I really feel like I'm called to leadership. And as we're saying that, we either see ourselves in the corner office with the beautiful windows and all these people reporting to us and an executive assistant, or we see ourselves on a big stage with everyone listening and just hanging on to our every word because we're so gifted. I mean, let's just be honest. When you think about your calling, what is the picture you have in your mind of that? If you can separate out what it may look like or feel like from what you would actually be doing and how people would be changed by what you're doing, I think that if it's a true call from God, there's going to be a piece of it that involves how you serve other people. If your idea of your calling has you in the center with a lot of awesome things happening, but you're not really able to connect it to the way that God would be helping or growing others through it, you're probably not there yet. So keep at it. Keep finding or doing a job that you enjoy. I think also, let's be realistic, if you like 60% of your job, that's pretty good. And there's nothing wrong with getting a paycheck and being a diligent, responsible adult. So those things sometimes get lost in this because we do quickly jump into fantasy land with what that will look like. If you are truly called, which you are, all of us are called to something. If you're called to something, there will be hard work associated with it. And in fact, the work might be even harder than if you just choose to tread water in other things because you will care more. When you care a lot about something, one of the ways you may discover what this calling is, which by the way, may never be your occupation. That's another thing I want to say. You could be called to something that will never be your occupation. I've talked to women, well, I know I'm gonna get married and have children because I have such this heart and love for children, so God's gonna give me that. I'm like, just because you have a heart and love for children, I'm not trying to burst your bubble, but He doesn't have to work in that one way to get you there. He in fact might have a very different life for you that isn't what you expected, that still is gonna be about that call. So let's say your call is to teach and encourage. You may be teaching and encouraging in all kinds of ways that never relate to your occupation. You have to ask yourself, are you okay with that? If you're okay with that, then you're starting to get to a place where you're moldable enough to be used by God. So when you get there, then you can start saying, okay, what am I really passionate about? And what are a few steps I can take, whether or not they relate to the work that I do? What are a few steps I can take to begin to cultivate that passion?